Hi guys, Kevin here. Last Sunday, I prepared a very romantic dinner for two. By romantic, I mean that we ate the meal in front of a roaring fire in the dining room. I served roast turkey breast, maple glazed carrots, and a classic southern dish called spoon bread. Spoon bread is a baked pudding made from cornmeal, buttermilk, and eggs. It's creamy delicious, it goes with everything, and of course, you serve it with a spoon. My spoon bread recipe is similar to many others. First things first, heat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 177 degrees Celsius. Now tip 1.5 cups of water and 2 cups of real buttermilk into a heavy saucepan or a blue Dutch oven like this one. Bring the buttermilk and the water just to a bare simmer over medium heat. Definitely don't let the liquid boil or else the cornmeal will clump when you add it. And my mixture is already starting to bubble a little bit, so off goes the heat. Then grab 1.5 cups of either yellow or white stone ground cornmeal and whisk it into the hot buttermilk and water mixture. And just keep whisking until the cornmeal thickens. There, can you see? My cornmeal has thickened beautifully. So now whisk in 1 teaspoon of salt and 1 tablespoon of sugar. Spoon bread is just slightly sweet. And finally, add 2 tablespoons of butter and just whisk away until the butter is incorporated. The butter will melt very quickly. Then grab 5 large eggs that were laid by happy, peppy, free-range chickens and crack them into a medium-sized bowl. And grab a whisk and beat the eggs until they turn pale and foamy. If you're good with a whisk, this won't take long at all. Just keep whisking away. We're trying to pump some air into the eggs. And already they are, can you see they're turning pale? And here we go. So we have some bubbles in the eggs. So now add 1 tablespoon of baking powder and whisk that in really, really well. And if the baking powder clumps up a little bit, well, don't worry about it. Just mix it in as well as you can. I've made this bread several times, and even if the baking powder clumps, the bread always works out. And we are done, nice and foamy. Whisking constantly, beat the egg mixture into the cornmeal batter. Make sure to get all of the egg mixture in there. And again, this too is a really easy step. And you want to mix until the eggs are totally incorporated into the cornmeal. And I think we are good to go. Pour the batter into a very well greased 9 by 13 baking dish. Bake the batter until it puffs and starts to brown. That will take, 45 minutes or so. In my oven, it's usually exactly 45 minutes. So I'll be back. And here is our spoon bread, all puffed and slightly golden. And I don't know if you can see, but it has turned brown around the edges and it has pulled away from the sides of the pan. So I think this thing is begging for a spoon. And let me show you, besides serving it as a side dish topped with butter, it makes a terrific thing to eat for breakfast or dessert. So I'm going to spoon up. Oh, this is so beautiful. It's almost like a souffle, but not quite because we did not beat the egg whites. I'm going to put a considerable amount of spoon bread in this bowl. And then all it needs is a pat of butter, which will melt into the spoon bread and make it super rich. And because I'm feeling decadent today, I am going to add some pure maple syrup. I almost said vanilla. And let me move the camera so I can take a taste for you. Here we go. This is so soft and wonderful and savory and sweet and creamy and delicious. I'll go out on a limb here and suggest that if you haven't tried spoon bread, you are really missing out on something. In fact, you haven't lived until you've tried spoon bread. And as you've seen, it's really easy to make, so I hope you'll run right out and make it. And I also hope you'll give this recipe a nice big thumbs up. And I hope you'll subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. If you have subscribed, thank you. And please post a comment below. You might have your own special recipe for spoon bread, and I would love to hear about it. Maybe you beat the egg whites and make a real spoon bread souffle. And I will see you next time very soon. Bye for now.